illegal ho, mulat sa pool. Kaya yun ho ang petition namin sa Korte Suprema upang madali ang dalhin, ibalik ang Presidente Duterte dito at magpaliwanag sila kung bakit ginawa nila ang illegal na pagdakip, pag-aresto, pagdetini at pagdukot at pagpapakulong sa dayuhang bansa o dayuhang institusyon, si Presidente Rodrigo Duterte.
Kung bibilangin natin yung dami ng mga rally, 60 million, more than sa nangyari sa EDSA, ay hindi po ba tingin nyo isang senyalis na ito na magandang makiisa na rin po?
Alam mo, ang military, tinitingnan nila sa isang lugar na ubod ng dami. Kaya inaantay siguro nila yung EDSA. Pareho nung nangyari sa EDSA 1, EDSA 2, yan ang inaantay nila. Gaya, halimbawa, yung Iglesia ni Cristo, nako, malaking bagay ang Iglesia ni Cristo. Pag inulit po nila yung 1.8 million sa Luneta at dadagdagan pa ng ilang milyon pa, wala na, tapos na labanan. Yun ang inaantay palagay ko.
So anytime na kayang-kaya pala mangyari kung gustuin lang pala, attorney.
At kayang-kaya rin ng gobyerno na ibalik si Presidente Duterte para hindi na matuloy yung mga ayaw nating mangyari.
That's correct. Correct po kayo, attorney.
Tandaan nyo, ayaw ng Pilipino na magkaroon ng karahasan sa ating bansa. Ayaw ng mga Pilipino ang tayo'y mag-away-away sa isa't isa. Ayaw po ng Pilipino yan. Ang gusto ng Pilipino, magkaisa, maging mapayapa, at maging maunlad tayo. Ang problema, yun pong mga niluluklok natin, masyadong matatakaw. Ang kakapal nga ng mga mukha nito. Hindi natin malaman kung paano natin gagawing manipis ang mga mukha nito. Ano kayang gagawin natin? Lalabahan na lang natin? Ikula kaya natin? Baka sakaling maging manipis.
Kaya nga, attorney, pero yan talaga. Kaya sa darating na eleksyon, doon na lang po tayo bumawi, mga kababayan. Pero sa iyong kolumn po, attorney, Attorney Sala, na Duterte illegal arrest, unlawful detention, kidnapping, and surrender of sovereignty by state authorities. Last three parts, basahin ko, Attorney Sal. To, I see the situation in the Philippines would be inadmissible under Article 17, 418. A review of Presidential Decree 106-9 shows that extradition can only be granted under the conditions enumerated below, which serve to protect the accused. If the subjects of a request for extradition enjoy such due process protections, even if there is a treaty allowing for the same, then more so for a subject of a mere red notice, which comes no obligation to comply. Section 3 of PD 106-9 provides that extradition may only be granted pursuant to a treaty or convention. The Philippines has no obligation under any treaty or convention currently in force to extradite former President Duterte to the ICC. Section 5, 1, and 2 of PD 106-9 requires the respondent Secretary of Justice to immediately designate and authorize an attorney in his office that shall file a written petition with the proper regional trial court with a prayer that the court take the request under consideration and shall attach to the petition all related documents. The former president was not even given a real opportunity to exercise his remedies under Philippine law before he was forcibly shipped out on a plane bound for The Hague. Notably, the former president, together with Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa, was able to file a petition for certiorari and prohibition with this honorable court before 5 p.m. on March 11, 2025 to question the government's cooperation with the ICC and Interpol. This would have given this honorable court an opportunity to evaluate the propriety of the former president's arrest. However, the respondents proceed with his removal from the Philippines notwithstanding the pending petition and is threatening to make the same moot. Section 6 of PD 1069 requires the regional trial court where the petition was filed to summon the accused and give him an opportunity to answer the petition. The former president was never given an opportunity to answer any of the offices of respondents, much less a court. Section 6 of 1069 provides that the regional trial court may issue a warrant for the immediate arrest of the accused if it appears to presiding judge that the immediate arrest and temporary detention of the accused will be served the ends of justice. No judge had the opportunity to determine if former President Duterte's arrest was necessary because the respondents arrest him without a warrant issued by any court of competent jurisdiction. Section 6, 8, and 9 of Presidential Decree 1069 required the regional trial court to hear the case and for the hearings to be public and conducted in such manner as to arrive at a fair and speedy disposition of the case. No such hearing or even an opportunity to be heard was afforded the former president. Section 10 of PD 1069 requires the regional trial court to render a decision whether to grant or deny the extradition with the reasons for the same stated. It further requires that granting the extradition must be based upon showing of the existence of a prima facie case. There is no written decision from the respondents citing the legal basis for their actions against former President Duterte, much less one from court of competent jurisdiction. Yan po, attorney. At sa Section 12 of PD 1069 provides that the accused may appeal the decision of the regional trial court with the Court of Appeals, and such appeal stays the execution of the said decision. No such similar opportunity or benefit was given to the former president. Section 20 of PD 1069 provides the requirement for the provisional arrest of the accused pending receipt of the request for extradition, which involves the Director of the National Bureau of Investigation to secure a warrant of arrest from a regional trial court. Again, the respondents arrested the former president without a warrant issued by a court of competent jurisdiction. 49 all to add, there is no legal basis for the arrest, detention, and removal from the Philippines of former President Duterte. Petitioner therefore prays that this honorable court urgently intervene by directing the respondents to cause the return of former President Duterte for presentation to this honorable court immediately, and with no delay before it's too late. Prayer wherefore premises consider the Petitioner Veronica A. Duterte on behalf of Rodrigo Duterte respectfully prays that this honorable court grant the instant petition for habeas corpus and issue a writ of habeas corpus commanding respondents Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin, Secretary Jesus Crispin Remulla, Police General Romel Francisco Marbil, and Nicolas Torre III, and or any persons or any government bodies acting on their behalf to produce the body of Rodrigo Duterte before this honorable court immediately. Ating magpapatuloy.
And appear before this honorable court.
And appeal before this honorable court to show cause of the imprisonment or restraint and make due of the writ together with the date and cause of the arrest and restraint. Other just and equitable reliefs are likewise prayed for.
Sa madaling sabi, yung pong binasa ni ni Franco,
Yes.
ay part 3 ho ng lumabas sa column ng iyong lingkod na sinimulan ho natin 2 weeks ago, part 1, part 2. Yun ho, yung petition for a writ of habeas corpus. Yun pong pangatlong column, the third part of the petition. Briefly, ang ibig lang kong sabihin natin, dito sa ating bansa, ay merong tinatawag na extradition treaty. At sa ilalim ng extradition treaty, ano bang extradition? Ibig sabihin, pag may nag-commit ng krimen ng isang Pilipino sa ibang bansa at meron tayong tratado na pwede nilang hingiin, kunin ang isang mamamayan na nag-commit ng krimen upang litisin sa kanila, hindi basta nila makukuha. Sa ilalim ng ating extradition law, ay kailangan munang maghain sila ng petisyon dyan sa hukuman, sa local regional trial court. Kailangan madidinggin muna bibigyan ng due process yung inaaresto para mapag-aralan nila kung merong basihan, may probable cause, bago nila magdidesisyon na pwede mong dalhin. At kahit na nga may desisyon pang regional trial court, meron pang pagkakataon na mag-appeal sa Court of Appeals hanggang makarating sa Korte Suprema. Madalit sabi, may due process. At hindi yun nangyari yan sa kaso ni Presidente Duterte. Basta inaresto, dinitini, dinukot, inilipad. Walang ganyan. Kaya sinasabi namin sa petisyon, sa kagalang-galang na Korte Suprema, hindi po nila sinunod ito. At kahit po, sabi namin, tingnan nyo pa ang kanilang Rome Statute under Article 59, nakalagay din doon na pag meron silang inisyong warrant of arrest, bago po nila mapatupad yun, yung Pilipinas, dahil gusto kunin nila isang Pilipino, si Presidente Duterte, kailangan, papasok sila sa isang hukuman muna. Magpapile din sila. Ang problema, hindi rin nung nangyari yun. Mismo yung Rome Statute, hindi sinunod. Yung batas natin, hindi sinunod. Batas ng Rome Statute, hindi sinunod. Ibig sabihin, illegal ho. Mulat sa pool. Kaya yun o ang petition namin sa Korte Suprema upang madali ang dalhin, ibalik ang Presidente Duterte dito at magpaliwanag sila kung bakit ginawa nila ang illegal na pagdakip, pag-aresto, pagdetini at pagdukot at pagpapakulong sa dayuhang bansa o dayuhang institusyon, si Presidente Rodrigo Duterte.
Yan, malinaw pa sa sikat ng araw ang pagpapaliwanag ni Attorney Sal sa ginawang hakbang po ng ating administrasyon sa ating former president.